No. Be yourself. Dare to be you, according to God's own arrangement. What does empire do to people? I know many of you, maybe many, maybe not many, but I hope many, have watched Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Game of Thrones has been a recent classic adventure movie. There are characters in this movie which I believe some of you know and you can remember. Sansa Stark, Arya Stark. You can remember Greyjoy, Theon Greyjoy. You can remember Robb Stark. Let me just make some comments on them. Starting with Sansa Stark. She grew as a civilized lady. She was cultured within the royal empire. And she became an admirer of Joffrey Baratheon. She really loved this Joffrey, though he was senseless and arrogant. But, he's the future king of Westeros. So she wished to really be around this my Joffrey. Joffrey despised this lady. But she really wanted to really be part of his life. And Cersei Lannister, just took over this lady and cultured her, how to be a wife of this future king, if at all that could be possible. And later, Lord Stark was invited by Baratheon to go to King's Landing and have some time, to be his hand, his help. And while there, something happened. Lord Stark stood strongly with integrity, not to compromise, and Baelish and others conspired against him and killed him. Sansa Stark saw how Cersei used Joffrey to kill the honorable Ned Stark. And that was brutality by power, by regime, by empire. Not only that, Sansa Stark was traumatized, but she was held captive after the death of Ned Stark in King's Landing. Yes, she was at the heart of power, but only a slave. She has been taken over. She was a spectator, an admirer. Now, this is where she is. Later on, she was brutalized in the throne room. King Joffrey ordered Meryn Trant to beat her up and to tear her garment. Tyrion Lannister just came from nowhere and just rescued her. And he became her, Lord Guardian. He later was forced by Tywin to marry her. She became something tossed here and there. To cut the story short, Joffrey died at his wedding day, and she had to be smuggled by Lord Baelish somewhere there. And Lord Baelish told her something about chaos. He said, chaos is a ladder. Make sure you take advantage of chaos so that you can grow. She told him, I am a senseless lady. I'm a stupid lady. I can't think anymore. But he said, let me help you. I will help you. He told her, I love your mother, Catelyn Stark. I will help you. Do you know what he did? He also captured Sansa and smuggled her to the Vale, where Aunt Lysa was. And while there, he was using Sansa to take over the Vale and later to take over Winterfell, because he knew that she was the real heir to Winterfell. At the end of the day, skirmish happened, and Sansa ended up in the hands of Roose Bolton. You know what Roose Bolton did to her? He brutalized her again. Where is the honor? Where is the joy of being the king's wife? This is what empire does to people. This is what a regime can do to somebody. Next comment is on Arya Stark. She dared to be different. She was a lady who was acting like a boy, right? Right from the beginning, right from the opening. You know, she wanted to really be so active and a warrior lady, right? And she was given a sword by Jon Snow called Needle. She named the sword Needle. And she was seriously active. And later on, she was described by Cersei Lannister that she is as wild as her direwolf, Nymeria. You know, Aya also had some turns, ups and downs. She was later smuggled out when there was a skirmish. Ned died. Yoren came and he wanted to take people to the wall to become Night's Watch people, you know, offenders and so on. So he smuggled her out of King's Landing. On the way, Lannister soldiers attacked them.